I saw this video as well, talking about someone basically quitting their job. I keep being recommended this. By the way, chat, I wanted to do a slap on this. I'm not sure like if it's true or not. Okay, guys, in chat, tell me. Wait, hang on. Bleep bloop, thank you for the 34 months. Brick by brick, on God, you are built up, boy. I'm not built up. Maybe when I see your mum, but, you know. Thank you, Random, for the 5. Thoughts on the new Love, Death, Robot season? It's okay. It's okay. I love the 400 Boys one. That, I don't know what that team is that worked on that, but they did Sigma Blue. Wait a minute, it's not called Sigma Blue, is it? It's called Sigma Blue, and I said Sigma Blue? But yeah, yeah, that animation team does like a really good job. Like a really, really good job. Sigma Blue. I'm never living that one down. That was actually worse than Good Kid, Mad City, and Camilla Harris and Metro's Booming Track. Triple Red. Yeah, I keep... Okay, chat, what was I going to say earlier? I was going to say, is anyone else's recommended built like this at the minute? You always get recommended like a video that's like 7 years old or really old, and then you also always get recommended a video that has like 30 views. Is anyone else getting this? Or is it just me? I feel it's like YouTube trying to like promote other content for you to watch. Yeah, everyone's saying yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I keep getting recommended videos that have like 1 view. Yeah, I think it's... Yeah. I'm getting recommended my own videos from like 7 years ago. Like when I was doing like fake deep voice, and I'm like, why? Like really old videos. Yeah, I keep being recommended old Markiplier as well. That's right. I don't know why. YouTube promoting despair. They're trying to make you remember the better times when you guys were happy. When you were watching me when I had the fake deep voice. When you were watching Markiplier play Five Nights at Freddy's. Trying to make you feel a little bit of joy in your blackened heart. But yeah, and then they always recommend videos that have like 3 views. It's almost like YouTube's really pathetic attempt to try to promote creators that are small. But yeah, it's not going to work. Anyway, I saw this video. I just quit my job. I just lost my dog. And my homie gotta chase the bag.
So I just quit. All right, guys. So I just quit my corporate job. I've been there for 3 years, and I have 0 backup plan. So I, for some background, worked for a tech company in New York City, and I honestly never liked what I did.
I feel like I'm watching a weekly slap video with the COD gameplay.
Basically staring at data and optimizing it all day, right? So staring at a spreadsheet until it was literally burned into my retinas at night. And yesterday I left the office to never come back. So you might be asking, why would you quit your job, especially with no backup plan, right? Because everyone always says, don't quit your job if you don't have another one lined up. And I know the economy, the job market right now is definitely not great, but, you know,
the people who tag
let's
you
talk
in
about it. So, long story short, a couple months ago, a big mistake was...
I think one thing I will say about the tagging and stuff like that is I actually had to stop doing it. I mentioned this once before. This is a little bit of drama. So I used to reply to like artists that drew fat art and stuff, like kind of jokingly, you know, like semi-sarcastically, that kind of thing. But there's this one time that there was this one artist, right, I replied to. And I want this clipped because I swear to God, like no one knows the full story here and they purposely omit stuff to make me look worse, and it's really annoying. So there was this one artist called Fatty Dragonite. That's right. And no one go and harass him. He did nothing wrong. He did absolutely nothing wrong. He's a really nice guy to talk to. Like nothing wrong with that guy. Do not go and harass him. So when I was on Twitter and I was being a moron, I replied to Fatty Dragonite. And then I said to him, oh, this is really good. And then I replied to myself saying wrong account because get it, the entire joke is like, haha, lol, he's, lol, Pyrocynical's on an alt account because, you know, so many people make that gag. But then what happened is when I replied to his tweet, the tweet went like mainstream. And then it went like from my audience to then like other audiences. And then people started quote tweeting Dragonite and harassing the guy. And none of these guys followed me, by the way. So me making that reply bridged it into like mainstream Twitter. And then it got recommended to other communities and they started harassing the guy. And the worst thing is like so many people are running with the narrative that I basically harassed this guy. And then I just left. And they love running with that narrative because it makes it so much easier to just like attack me. Like the first thing I did when I realized what was happening is I reached out to Dragonite and I like profusely apologized to him. I think I sent him like 7 voice notes or something. And I was like, dude, I'm like so sorry this happened. It was not my intention at all. You know, I can like delete the tweets and stuff like that if you want. Like, you know, I genuinely felt like so bad over it because he was just some like furry artist being harassed by loads of people. Like, I will admit, I take responsibility. I definitely bridged that gap into the mainstream. But I genuinely don't even think it was my fans that were harassing him. Like, all the people that were quote tweeting him being like, this is disgusting. Is like they didn't even follow me. They were like from completely different like parts of the internet. And then the worst thing is like he replied back to me and he fully accepted the apology and he was like, no, it's fine. Like, you're good. Like I can tell you're actually sorry and stuff like that. And that was it. But then you've got like, I swear you've got like half of furry Twitter that are running with this narrative of like, I basically harassed an artist and then ran away from it and never brought it up again. The reason why I never publicly tweeted saying I apologize to him is because I'd bring even more attention to the guy. I don't know. I'm talking about drama that no one really cares about. I'm just really sick and tired of seeing like, you know, rent-free furry artists like using that as kind of a gotcha moment.
Made on one of my accounts and they tried to pin it on me. You know, I'm a lower on the totem pole. They tried to put...
We watched a video like this last month, I'm pretty sure as well. There was like a British guy talking about how he quit his job and he's not actually sure what to do next. And he was also using card gameplay, but I think it was Call of Duty 2 multiplayer, maybe?
The whole thing on me. And that didn't sit right with me because I had nothing to do with the mistake.
I'm glad it ended on good terms. No, the guy was so nice to speak to. He's genuinely the sweetest person. That's why I felt so bad. Like, I was, like, profusely apologizing to him. Because it just wasn't the intention at all. But yeah, I don't reply to, like, you know, artists with like bit tweets anymore because it's just like the audience is too big and it'll bridge the gap and they'll just get harassed.
It wasn't my mistake. So I stood up for myself. You know, I decided I wasn't going to let these fake corporate people step on me for their mistake. So I defended myself, you know, fired shots back, basically said it's your fault, not mine, right? And then after nearly 3 years of nothing but positive feedback, my new manager, who's the one that pin this entire thing on me.
I think one thing about these videos, which I've noticed, and it's really dangerous, is like, his name is Paulie Walnuts. Okay, that's based. Is that a Sopranos bit? Because one thing I noticed with videos like this, because there's a lot of them online, someone will be complaining about how much they hate their job, and they'll be talking over like a COD commentary. And I think what YouTube does, which is really like, I don't think the algorithm means to do it, but it's quite evil, where it's like, this video has nearly 500,000 views, which is an insane number. So you get people that make videos like this, and then they kind of like think to themselves, oh, wait, if I get these views, I can actually like sustain myself. But like it usually like 9 times out of 10, unfortunately, it just never lasts because most people come to the video about you talking about quitting your job because most people relate to that, but they don't actually stick around.
All of a sudden had tons of negative feedback for me in the 2-week period following this mistake that she made, right? And she said I needed to turn things around. I'm not fulfilling the...
It's always Sopranos, Breaking Bad, or Blade. Yes. The holy trifecta.
Requirements of my role. And if I didn't, they would put me on a PIP, which is Performance Improvement Plan. It's basically corporate nonsense that is...
Dinner slop time, see you, Pyro. You watch streamers without eating? Hey, chat, point and laugh at that guy. He eats with his family. Loser, you socialize.
Saying you're going to be fired, but we're going to do this before we fire you so we can protect ourselves. So one thing about me is, you know, I'm by no means the smartest, but I am a hard worker, and I always have been. And here I'm being told I'm not working hard enough. So... you know, for the last month or so at my job, I reached new levels of try hard, right? I'm working 12-hour days every single day.
I find it amazing that he's using the word try-harding when he's working a job.
Just being super extra with everything that I do. Like going the extra mile, really just basically making it so she can't say I'm not doing my job.
How'd you do with that exam? Oh, I try-harded it.
So then... you know, a couple weeks ago, I got a call from my manager, and she puts me on the performance improvement plan anyway, despite the hard work, despite everything, right? So this is typical corporate nonsense. And what I learned about this corporate world, you know, at my time in it so far, is it doesn't actually matter how hard you work.
Can we put the video on 2x speed? Can you stop scrolling TikTok while watching the stream, please? Like your brain is absolutely just seeping out your ears.
In the corporate hellscape, right? Your input is genuinely irrelevant at most of these tech jobs, especially. Like, there's people that work their ass off and they'll put everything into their work, and they'll end up getting the same treatment as the people that are literally doing nothing, just coasting, you know, maybe doing the bare minimum. And, you know, if your manager doesn't like you at these jobs, you're really cooked, by the way. You know,
the zoomy terms, man, I can't.
I'm going to test the copium.
It's like, there's times where I was like, wow, this job's so easy, you know, and I'm still getting great feedback.
I will never understand how the YouTube meta works. It literally changes every like 8 months, unironically.
Feedback, you know, and then you get a new manager, and boom, you know, you're cooked. So, and before anyone asks, you know, a lot of people are like, why didn't you go to HR? Like, this sounds like an HR situation, sounds not fair. Here's another thing that I learned, right? HR is a total joke. They're solely there to protect the company. They have...
Yeah, I've actually never heard anything good about human resources in like most companies, honestly.
Zero interest in protecting you. So, you know.
Yeah, could you imagine he goes up to HR and he's like, bro, I'm so cooked, man. Like, I'm crashing out. I'm trying hard in this job, but I think I'm cooked.
I went to them. They did not help at all. You know, the HR lady was, you know, a remote worker who, you know, I'm not going to say anything, but she had cats running all over in the background, and that should kind of tell you the vibes. I have nothing against cats, but you know what I mean, right?
You work in HR? Make sure everyone around you is miserable. I'm proud of you. Nah, not all HR is bad, but like, I've heard a lot of horror stories about some of them.
And, you know, she's just telling me how they want me to succeed, and, you know, they wouldn't have fired me if they didn't want, or they would have fired me if they wanted
HR cat person, it's over.
Me fired. You know, they want to see me succeed, which is total, you know, bullshit. So, you know, I have my PIP meeting, my PIP meeting.
Well, HR is a legal requirement, isn't it? So, like, yeah, if it's going to be a legal requirement, it's probably not going to be that good.
And I'm just hearing all this legit nonsense.
Dude, we're going to reach the point, I reckon, where HR will just be like, it'll just be like a chat bot you speak to, like ChatGPT or something.
And all these things that I need to do to keep my job, and how much they care about me, and it might not feel like it, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the meeting, I was just like, yeah, I quit. Like, this is ridiculous. You know, all I can do is...
That took way too long to kill that guy.
You know, show up and work hard. That's all I've been doing my whole time at this company. So I quit. You know, I wasn't going to let them juice every last ounce of work out of me before firing me anyway. I ended it on my own terms.
Based.
And every boomer that I know, including my own parents, you know, mind you, told me that this was the wrong decision.
It's just like... I get the struggle, I really do, but it is just holy buzzwords.
Right, quitting with no backup plan is irresponsible, you know.
All these boomers.
Sometimes you gotta just, you know, stick through it. But I feel like if there's anything I've learned, it's you gotta do what feels right sometimes. Sometimes you...
He just says, this is such a truth nuke, dude. Fuck boomers. Thank you, Trump Daddy, for the 10. Oh my god, what have you sent? I hope this doesn't play, man.
Pyro baby, I need you. I need you to touch my foals, to fondle them. HHHHHHGGGMMM, the thought makes me micro penis compensate for your hairline. Please, big Pyro, touch your elderly fat daddy.
He took out a Klarna payment to make that donate, by the way.
You feel it in your gut, and you got to follow your gut, right? So, yeah, I just quit, guys. You know, I'm going to, you know, go travel for a little bit, going to Italy, you know, Europe, things like that. I figured I'm only getting older, right? So, luckily, I've been able to save a ton of money up. You know, I've been, you know, the sacrifice of living at home for a couple of years, so it's not like I had bills to pay. Was saving a lot of money this entire time that I've been working here. And, you know, also not going to lie.
No, he only got his Twitter hacked. So basically now he's lost access to his account, but the hackers also lost access. So they're basically at stalemate. So it won't be promoting anything else. Watch the slop today. It's really interesting. I talked to her. Say that again. I talked to Wendigoon about it, like, and I said to him, like, do I have permission to talk about this, Daddy, please? And he was like, yes, you can.
A big part of this was like crypto, right? And I can make a separate video, but I basically made my salary in crypto in the past couple months alone. So, you know, I'm sitting here getting shit on by these people that think that, you know, because they have a little bit of power, they can just treat me like shit. And I'm like,
okay, I do want to interject here, right? He made money on the side through crypto, based, especially because I'm guessing he's young, based, okay? As much as we shit on crypto and stuff, he's got a side hustle, I get it. The problem is, I'm very worried that this guy might end up going through his Joker villain arc, because he does sound like quite bitter about like his higher ups and stuff. And fair play, you know, some of these people, like you get bosses and stuff, and they can be the worst people in the world. And because they pay your salary or their managers are above you, they're inescapable. Like that's hell, I understand that. But I'm feeling a bit of a villain arc starting here, possibly.
Fresh in my crypto wallet, seeing like this crazy number, and I'm like, yeah, like I'm not gonna do this. You know, I don't care if it might be irresponsible. Like for now, I'm out of here, and I'll figure it out. I know I will.
But legit, I'm happy for him though. The fact he managed to escape like what he believed to be a dead end job through like crypto, like that's good. Like genuinely, like that is a net positive for him.
But this is not for me, clearly, right? So I feel like with...
Do you do crypto? I did it once, like 4 years ago. I put some money into Ethereum and I doubled it. And then I tried to triple it, but I got greedy and it dropped back down to double, and then I pulled out. I that's the first and last time I'll ever touch crypto.
My channel, I
feel I've got a very addictive personality, so if I actually got into like investing in crypto, I would just become a complete degen. Like once I get hooked onto something, I just become like fixated on it. So it would just end up being like really, really unhealthy. I'd probably just have someone manage it for me.
I want to make it seem like I have it all figured out, because I don't, right? I'm still relatively young. You know, I've definitely learned a ton of shit, but if this is any indicator, you know, I'm still learning every single day, right? So
you should try gambling. Shut up. Here come the Roobet bots in chat. Oh, turn on your VPN, bro. You put somebody on Roobet, bro.
I definitely don't want
I have a court
every moment of it, right? And before you make a decision like this...
Yeah, I don't enjoy gambling. I really don't. And I'm happy that I don't, because I would become a full-blown addict. 100% I'd become an addict. Like, it's funny, because like, I'll probably go gambling, like, once a year. I'll go to, like, Crown Casino in Melbourne with, like, you know, Chad and Max and some other guys. And Dolan as well. And we'll, you know, play a bit of, like, you know, I don't know, blackjack or something. But I will purposely play like a complete moron. I will purposely throw the entire table. I'll be on like a 20 on blackjack, and I'll say hit, because I'm just a complete degenerate. Because it's like, I don't know why the way my brain works is like, I know this sounds really weird, but it's like I could win $5 or like $5,000 and I wouldn't care. I would not care either way, because it's like, you know, it just doesn't, it doesn't, I don't know why. It's like my brain's fucked. I just don't get like a dopamine hit from that at all. So instead I just play like a complete moron. I will purposely put like the most risky plays imaginable, knowing I'm going to lose.
If you're miserable at your job.
Like, bro, I remember last time I went to a casino, like when I was in Australia, I just took out $5 and I lost it all. And then I just watched other people the whole night. And I was like, well, I'm having fun, like genuinely.
Job. I would say like you do need...
No, I'm not that rich, man. I'm not that rich. All right, I've got like 30 million in the account, and then my uncle's very rich as well. He owns a podcast, and then my dad is also quite rich.
You don't want to completely burn any bridges. Like, I really wanted to just say fuck you guys and just, you know, move on. But, you know, I went to people that I had positive experience with. I got reference letters and things like that. So,
oh my God, did no one get it was a Hassan bit? Oh my God, guys, the joke over the head, the joke.
You know, hopefully that will carry on if I need in the future. But the moral of the story here is there's no loyalty in corporate America, right? There's no human emotion. It's all fake. And
I hope you guys think I've got 30 mil in the account. I really hope that. Please be that delusional.
To be honest, with AI, I'm not sure half of these jobs will be around much longer. Like,
the
so many of
dopamine
these
of
getting paid for nothing. like they're doing nothing all day and pretending to work. Like that's a huge chunk of corporate America, right? And I could have stayed, collected a few more paychecks while they shit on me some more. But I stood up for myself. I quit. I ended it on my own terms. I wasn't sure it was the right move. It was just what my gut told
But he is right about the whole kind of capitalist thing, where it is just like the rich get richer thing.
me. But now, this huge weight is off my shoulder, right? I'm still young. I have money saved up, and I hated what I was doing, right? We spend so much time at work that if you really dread your job, you're gonna end up
r/no work. Wasn't that just like a Cope subreddit? Oh god, I remember that. The whole dog walking thing as well.
Right. So I just said, enough is enough, and I quit. So yeah, I will, say like I do live in New York City, so there.
Jarvis enhanced that kill.
Oh yeah, I will, say like I do live in New York City, so there are a ton of jobs available as opposed to other places. It's still a rough job economy, like I'm not gonna lie. It's
Oh yeah, New York is actually rough. I respect that.
definitely a bad time to not have a job, but I do have.
You barely remember what he's talking about. He just says he hates his job. He's left. And he's got enough money saved up in crypto to like try and explore other options and maybe travel for a little bit now.
Friends and connect.
No, I think he makes some very good points in the video. I do agree with it. Like I'm trolling a bit, but no, he does make some good points.
Where I can switch.
Any updates on Streamer University? Nah, it's over now. There's one video I had saved where someone tried to sneak in, but it's kind of over now.
To another industry. I really don't think I'll go back into tech, but I just, I'm grateful that I have the chance to stop doing something that I dread, and I have a little bit of time, and luckily I made some sacrifices and some smart investments where I can actually focus on myself for a little bit, and that's what I'm gonna do. So, even these YouTube videos, it's like therapy for me, just talking to like you guys. I don't know, it's weird. But like,
yeah, one thing he said there that's really important, like I think a lot of people enjoy early YouTube the most because that's when they're the most freeform. It's the scariest time, but it's also the most fun time because you're basically able to experiment and do whatever you want. You're kind of not locked into a lane, that kind of thing. And it's like you're not doing it as a job. Like me, when I started doing YouTube, it was just me doing everything. And then I took on one editor. I took on Ramska. And then I took on more and more people. And now it basically is a business. Like I've got a lot of editors and there's a lot more we have to put out and upload to kind of maintain because the algorithm always changes and it's more demanding and you can never have days off. Millionaire crying moment. But I think early YouTube is really interesting. And one thing I do like doing is looking at channels that are really small and just seeing like how they're actually getting their feet off the ground and what they're doing. The MLG era was peak. Could you imagine if I never changed?
This is something I enjoy doing. After years of doing something you hate,
I just edit for 15 hours a day, sleep, and then edit again. I don't know how you do it, mate, genuinely. If I edited all my own videos, I would actually become depressed. Like editing the main channel videos and then also editing slop on the side to fund the main channel videos. Mental. I respect that, I do. I mean, to be fair, I remember like editing all the videos myself and writing them all myself and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I still write them, to be fair, but yeah. Because I kind of realized, like, if we wanted to expand the team and put more people, if I wanted to put more money into the main channel videos, we then had to start the second channel and, it just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, more inflated, that kind of thing. No, it's not a furry, he's got a TV head on, idiot. Get it right.
To realize, especially early on in your career, what you hate and what you enjoy. And, that's why I'm still grateful for this shitty job that I had for all these years. Even though I hated it, I now know
stability.
What I'm not going to do with the rest of my life, and I now know how to navigate this corporate world that we're subject to.
Yeah, I think it's good that he makes a good point there. It's good that he's had the experience of a job that he hates because he knows that that's the ground floor and he doesn't want to go back to the ground floor.
So yeah, guys, I don't want to encourage anyone to quit their job.
Thank you for the love for all the map animators. Yeah, no, you guys are killing it. You've done an amazing job, seriously.
Even, I will say, like, there was times I wanted to quit emotionally. Things were not going well, but I didn't quit,
Wait, is he fighting AI? I think it's AI, right?
With it. This wasn't really as much as an
I hope so.
decision, it was more of a, you know, I got to get out of here before
It's
they
over.
can my ass
It's
anyway.
over.
But I want to end this by saying, if you're in a similar situation where, you know, you may have a manager.
Aim!
End this by saying, if you're in a
Aim! My aim! My aim! My aim!
situation where, you know, you may have a manager treating you terribly and it's just not fair. Don't let it get to you, right? Because past couple months, like, I would work my ass off every day, and when you're doing that, no
The bowling pin emote as well.
one's giving you even a thank you or a, you know, good job on working so hard on this, it really gets to you, and you start to question the value of your work. And I really was at that point. And it'll mess up.
Dude, this gameplay is washed. I'm so sorry. Like, he's making such good points. I'm happy that he saved up money from crypto. He got that bag. He's now able to travel, and he's had that work experience that he's absolutely despised. And he's like, I'm never doing this again. Now I know where I don't want to be. Where can I aspire to go next? And that is nothing but respect. But your gameplay, mate, is washed. It is absolutely washed. The bots are stealing the kills from you. How are you making a sniper from COD look like the AWP with a no-scope?
Confidence and everything, right? So I ended up going to people that I had worked with in the past and being like, you know, that just, was I this bad of a worker? And they were like, no, you're a hardworking dude. And I knew that. I've always known that about myself, but it's like I started to question it because this manager who was, you know, making
I miss when
excuses for
gooning
her
only
own
meant doing what.
mistakes had me feeling that way. So yeah, guys, that's it for me. I think I'm gonna make a video on how I was able to you know, basically create my salary just by investing and some sacrifices that I made early on that gave me this opportunity. Because the truth is, if I didn't do those things, then I wouldn't be able to quit. I'd have to just get shit on and let them continue to treat me terribly. So all right, guys, appreciate you watching, especially if you made it this far.
I think that was a good video. That's his channel, Paulie Walnuts. I'd say go drop that guy a sub, definitely. Could you imagine if he became actually one of the next big YouTubers? It's so crazy that you've got so many people uploading on this platform, and there's always that small chance that they could actually become, like, big. That always blows me away, like, every time.